Hi everyone, this is Mark from Solo Games, and Ascent Houston has just finished, and what an amazing weekend it has been. I'm super excited to bring in the last interview for the event, and I'm joined by a large panel of devs here. I'm joined by Alan, Sunny, Nahgg, and Roger. All right, hey everyone, please introduce yourself, tell us who you are and what you do. Let's start with Alan.
I'm Alan, otherwise known as Aldeus on the Discord. It's been a long weekend. It's been a very fulfilling weekend, and I won't say much more than that. I'll let Sunny here introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Sunny. You guys probably know me by Sylidar on Discord. I talk a bit too much on there. And I'm the lead game designer for grandarchive.
I'm Nahgg, otherwise known as Chris, Nahgg on the Discord mainly. I participate in game design, story building, things of that nature. And most importantly, the rules.
Yeah.
The rules.
Everyone, I'm Roger, also known as Citsacras, the returning guest for this talk show, the most unofficial official GA talk show now. If you don't know me from before, I'm the director of operations, so I cover a lot of the logistics and behind the scenes aspects.
Cool. Well, I know you guys are all super tired. I'm feeling tired as a participant, so you guys are probably like 5x is what I'm feeling. So I'll try to get this out the door quickly, but first, Ascent is complete, right? How do you all feel? And then a kind of a follow-up question, any cards from Ascent that you were really looking forward to see, but did not? So I'll pass that question over to Alan.
Ascent was amazing. This has been one of my dreams come true to finally see a huge gathering of people play a game that, we created with a lot of passion, a lot of love. If there was a card that I wish, I think I would have liked to see a little bit more, and a card that was very hyped for the next set was Peaceful Reunion, and I don't think I saw that at all. So I thought everybody thought it was great. Just saying. But other than that, I think, honestly, besides the memes, I'm very happy with how the meta is shaping. I know there's a lot of discussion of a lot of the same champion is being played, but when it comes down to it, a lot of strategic choices and a lot of styles of, even the same sort of list can be played out. So I'm extremely happy with how the diversity and how the event went.
Yeah, I'm very happy with the event as well. We've been really busy doing a bunch of random stuff while everything going on, so I haven't been able to see a bunch of the meta. And but my favorite part about the event was how a bunch of the community members got together and do a bunch of random stuff, even the TM32 stream. That wasn't even us at all. That was just all them. They just came to the venue, asked, hey, can we take this corner to stream? You could try. And it turned out to be a very great stream. And for the card, I was expecting to see more Fracturize because of the layers announcement, but it didn't even show up. And people were really worried about that. I was like, I wasn't too worried. I was actually interested to see if people would bring more, but
Yeah, I mean, like the others, I think the event went extraordinarily well for our first Ascent. It was awesome being here, seeing everyone come out, all the volunteers that helped us. They all really came together to help us make a great show. In terms of cards, I would have liked to see more Arcane Blasts personally.
Oh.
Yeah, I think the moment when it hit me was right as we finished the closing announcements, just talking through everything that we were going to present and seeing everyone's response, just the feedback back from the crowd. It was so emotional because originally I was actually not planning to come. I was like, we have so much in the pipeline in Taiwan. I think it's easier for me to stay there. But Sunny was like, no, this is the payoff for everything we've been doing the past year and a half. And for you to not come is kind of pointless. Why have we been working to this? I think that moment made it real. It was just so many people here, 256 competitors, 400 people overall to show up to play a game that we have been building for the past year and a half. And that just hit like a truck at the end of it because from all the stress of putting everything together, the last minute disasters, the firefighting, and just like, the anxiety of like, oh no, how is this gonna go? Are we ready? What's going on? What do we need to do? And to being like, we're there, and it's gone by like a flash, and I didn't even realize it until now, just like looking back and talking with everyone about the experience. Wow, it's been a dream.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I know it's like you guys are saying, like you guys are running around the whole time. Last time I checked, your team is 6 people total. I have 4 of you guys here, so I feel really bad for everyone else who's not here doing all the work. Kind of curious, what is it like working with each other?
I can start us off. Honestly, like let's be real, we have our ups and downs, but at the end of the day, I think we all work together really well. I speak personally from, Sylidar and I have been friends for at least a decade now. So at the end of the day, I think we all kind of understand each other, and we work well, I think. I don't think anybody else could do what we do, and I proudly state that. So
Yeah, I think I'm the person that worries the most.
yeah, that's for sure.
And then I ping everyone, what if this happens? What if that happens? Like, oh no.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm like usually pinging people like random reminders, and like sometimes I forget, but like yeah, but
He's the anxious Sylvie emote.
Yeah.
Like actually,
He is emote.
anxious Sylvie.
Yeah.
Yeah, in general, I think we all have great chemistry together. A lot of the working together has been largely informal. Like, we don't have regularly scheduled meetings. We don't have, like, super boardroom talks. It's all kind of caution to the wind, and it somehow works out. Masters of improvisation, working together, getting something great and just wonderful in the end of it all. A lot of us have known each other for a while now. I think the newest member, Roger, we've known him for less together, but we've grown all together, all as one team, and it's a great thing to have. Like, we have a really good thing going.
Yeah. And I think probably the most important thing for us to now look forward is like, this is of course scaling, right? We're not going to be able to keep this consistent, and we want to still maintain the magic of like the creativity and the design, but we need to develop ourselves into a fully functional company. We're no longer that indie publisher on Kickstarter anymore. Like, we've done something substantial, and we need to make sure that like we can build that forward. And so I'm sure there'll be there are always going to be growing pains, like we talked about last time, mistakes. But as long as we can learn from it and grow together, that's going to be the most critical thing for us.
Hey, sorry. I was just gonna say, I think like one thing I know the team is that we're adaptable, we act fast, and when we make mistakes, we're not embarrassed or shy to admit that we made them, and we always rectify the situation and do our best to improve. And I'm proud of that quality of us. And yeah, Roger may have only joined recently too, but like, not even recently now, it's been like 2 years.
A year and a year.
Feels like another person.
He's been with us the majority of the time already.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It feels like a decade we've known him. So, great. I mean, I love you guys.
Got that on camera. Hey, just letting you guys know, if you need help, I got my resume in the back. Maybe on the back of my deck list. I don't know. Just double check it.
We did just talk about scalability, so
Yeah.
Do you have it down as Mark, as last name Solar?
Mark, first name Mark From, last
Okay.
name Solar Games.
Good.
But apparently I was not. Sorry, I caused a lot of stuff. Yeah. So speaking of rapid changes and fixing things, FTC redemption. Let's talk a little bit about this. How do you feel? I reacted to this on a recent video as well about how I like it. I don't even care what the result is. I like the fact that you did something rather than just sit back and say nothing and pretend it didn't happen. So I want to hear from you guys, or maybe whoever feels like they want to talk about it. How do you feel about it so far? Is that Sylidar? That's a still question.
I like I said, I'm the worrier. so it was me looking at the price and like, oh, hey guys, we should do something, and we came up with a bunch of ideas. But we're known to like kind of be generous to our players, and so a lot of our players really like our CRs, and we've branded our CRs in a way that players really value them, from the pull rates to how they look and how they're designed and everything. And on the other hand, we're seeing all these stores like losing money on our own product, and we felt really bad. And we really wanted to push more profit to our stores, and so we decided to utilize our collector rares so that try to push a stock off our stores so that collectors who really like CRs get a new CR to collect. And at the time we didn't know if it was going to actually do anything or not, but yeah, it was something. It didn't really hurt for us to try, so we just did it. Yep.
We spent a lot of time trying to figure out the right solution, and a lot of sleepless hours, more like it. But it was just we had a lot of great feedback from our distros who talked to us. They gave us some great ideas, and the set redemption. It's been done, or redemptions for other card games have been done before in the past, and it's not something that's unknown to history. So it was something that we thought this would be a good time to explore it, and yeah, like I said, put a new CR into the pool, and I think a lot of people will love the artwork, right? So yeah.
So again, if you're a distributor, store out there carrying the product, this is real. You're hearing it directly from these guys. They're not always going to get it right, but they're looking at ways to make sure you're well taken care of. And nowadays, you rarely see that from any creator. So something to think about. Yeah.
Oh, I think Roger had something to say.
Yeah, and I think there was always that idea of we have Path of Silver as a collector's event, but aren't there other ways we can explore this without being a highly competitive event, right? You have locals for play, and the thought that always spew back to me is that there's so many master set collectors. People are I've collected my Pokemon Scarlet Violet master set. I finished all of this Dragon Ball or One Piece set. And it's there's no prize for doing that from any other game. People are just I did it, now what? Maybe I'll try and sell it, maybe I won't. But that fact that you can basically turn it in almost like digital rewards of being here's the badge you got for hitting that achievement, and get sent a card to showcase that level of effort, I think it's just another aspect of the collector market that we can try and support directly with basically, I don't know if it's OP support for it, but in some ways it is organized play support for collectors. And if this is an opportunity and it lines up just kind of well with how to adjust the market, why not experiment now and see how it goes? If it's received positively, we can try out different ways of doing this in the future. Of course, we don't want to rely on it as a lever for the market, but actually just give it as an incentive for future sets or anything else.
So shifting gears a little bit about a different change topic, FTC. So FTC was meant to kind of shift meta a little bit. Do you feel like overall it achieved that goal?
Yeah. You want me to start? As somebody who playtested FTC, and I don't know if I ever mentioned this, but I work a lot on the R&D of the game, and that involves playtesting and balancing, and I feel like we've achieved that goal somewhat. And could things have been better? I'm sure that they could have. At the end of the day, we still operate within time constraints and making sure we get out releases on time. So for everything that we were able to accomplish, I think I would say that we're pretty happy. And what's important to me was I think I noticed as part of the TO staff and being on the floor watching all the tournaments, I felt like a lot of people were having fun, and at the end of the day, that was the most important thing to me. So
I agree. Not much to say. It's not perfect, but that's why we announced the Proxia's Vault, and who knows, we might do something in a upcoming DNR.
Who knows? Maybe it's just another nothing happened.
Nothing burger?
I mean, but I don't know.
So since you mentioned Proxia's Vault, can you give me a little bit more specifics on the Proxia Vault and how that actually works? As an example, let's use just a random card, Avarice.
So it's not really related to cards that currently exist.
Okay.
It's say there's a meta issue that we want to solve.
Yep.
Now, we teased a card in that presentation called Scepter of Lumina.
Yeah.
And that card's design goal was to make water mirror matches faster.
Okay.
Because water, a lot of competitive players don't play water, Not because it's like, some people might think it's underpowered.
Yeah.
But a lot of competitive players don't play it because it takes too much time.
Yes.
And it was lacking a tool to close out games at a competitive speed. Stuff like this is a meta issue that isn't solved from banning a card. And so if we can add a new card like instantly, like a ban would do, then we can fix meta issues like this in a healthier way.
So kind of like an anti-ban list.
It's kind of like
I'm releasing a card into the wild.
Yeah.
In the middle of the set
Yeah.
without the next set coming out for it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it makes the ban and restricted announcement a lot more exciting.
Yeah.
Because whenever whenever an upcoming ban and restricted announcement comes, people are really either happy, they're not really happy. They're more like relieved that something gets banned. Like they're not happy, right?
Yeah.
They're relieved,
Yeah.
or they're mad because whatever they like got banned or didn't get banned.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So when there's a possibility of new cards being added, and then you can go print it right away and add it to your material deck.
Yeah.
Or you can look at other decks that could be possible from this one new card, or a couple new cards. It makes that type of announcement a lot more exciting.
Yeah.
It's kind of inspired from, if you view it this way, if you play games, most video games nowadays have patches.
Yeah.
This is like a way we can apply a patch, like balancing, adding. You can view the B&R not just as something going away, but the potential for something new to be added.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. In patch notes for video games, things get buffed, things get nerfed.
Yeah.
But in trading card games, it's nerf, ban. Yeah, so restricted, ban.
Yeah. And it's not even nerf, it's more like it's gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you don't have a nerf button actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was on the floor talking to people exactly like this. I was explaining to them I feel because again, not knowing all of it, it does feel more exactly like how you would solve or do patches in a paper game, which is again very, very, very hard. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's lucky, but because we're such a small developer, because we've scaled our production process, that we can hold art in reserve, define effects fairly fast, and then, hit the button and print within the week, right? And there's no other publisher that'll even attempt to do that, right? People talk about Magic. Product lines are planned years in advance. There's no way you'll be able to react that fast. But because of our scale, because of our size, and because we're just willing to try it out, I think we have that advantage of just shifting things in the market that no one else has tried before.
I was actually hoping I could get my replacement trinket, Viridian trinket, today,
Not
but
yet.
apparently it's coming soon.
Some soon. Yeah.
Okay, cool, good. Next question. So, a lot of the feedback I've gotten from the players on GA, because GA, again, most of the time it's played as I guess now limited, sealed, but also mostly constructed. What about GA draft? I know it was designed for that purpose. The feedback I've gotten a little bit is something that it's a little bit lacking. What are some future draft and limited changes that might be coming in for the product for the people who are interested in those kind of formats? And I'm not sure how Wiz of the Coast got a question in here, but we're gonna let it slide.
So one thing to note, it's not mentioned on our product sheet, but set 3, Alchemical Revolution, is not draftable.
Okay.
And that's because we're taking draft back to the lab.
Okay.
And taking a look at it.
Nice.
And also another big reason with the set not being draftable is we're releasing 3 brand new classes that need to be able to compete with 4 existing classes with a larger card pool. And so making draft possible, you need these draft specific cards.
Yeah.
And we can't really do that while supporting classes that needs to compete with the rest right away. So we decided to take out draft for Alch. We needed to take it back to the lab anyways. We're still trying to do drafts for sure though. I think it's a great experience, a different way to play the game.
And I can definitely speak on that. For me, Chris, and Sunny, our way to hang out back in the day was to play any limited format, whether it be draft or sealed. It's something that is pretty special to us that we want to make sure we do right, and basing our lessons off of set 1 of Dawn of Ashes and making that a draftable set, we feel, I think, more regret not being able to dial that in to the experience that we wanted to deliver. So I think with set 3, we're taking a step back and then gonna do better for the next product.
Yeah. So this question is actually maybe more specifically for, actually maybe it's everybody, but I was thinking Roger when I wrote the question. Why was FTC a single print run set?
It's actually more of a
Sylidar
question.
Oh, okay. Pass.
At the time, we weren't really sure of how much our printing could handle,
Okay.
because it was like a really rocky time getting like acquainted with our manufacturer, and so when people were asking for details about Print Run, we already committed to it, and so we didn't want to change plans on everyone knowing what FTC was, and so we just made a single Print Run and stayed with it, even though our manufacturing has gotten a bit more streamlined, but yeah.
So maybe more of a question for Roger then. What kind of improvements or streamlines has gone into manufacturing since FTC?
Yeah.
Maybe even ALC actually, right?
So there's a lot planned up. I think we've put in capital investments for improvements at like 2 month, 6 month, and like 12-month timeframes to really scale up the process. Because there's like our current solution, and you'll come with every trading card game, is that, or really any manufacturing business, is like 0 to 1 is always the biggest challenge. Then 1 to 100, you have to revamp your process, right? And then to go from 100 to 100,000 is a completely different way of production. You can't use the same production you went from each of those steps. You have to reimagine, redefine, and then rescale the way you're producing anything. And so I've been, on business trips to Japan, to some other factories, to some manufacturers, just to see what level of machinery is industry standard. What are card games in Japan using? What are card games in the US using? What can we find from our suppliers that will custom design for Grand Archive specifically for our manufacturer? And so there's a lot of steps and big investments we've made there that'll see fruition, into set 3, into set 4. But also we've gained a lot of design experience, right? Our printer before didn't manufacture and collate trading card games because frankly that's a very incredibly specialized and niche skill set. But after going through Kickstarter, Alter Edition, FTC, we've gained enough experience either between me, our foot team on the ground, to know how to best design the plate production, the collation, with limited resources, but also now how to best scale with new machinery, new investment to make sure that we can hit those milestones, continue to deliver, and potentially scale with cost with volume. So aspects like that, we're looking to improve production. Can't really speak on the details, and I'm sure it wouldn't be that interesting a conversation to listen to me talk about collating patterns and different dispenser methods and methodologies, but there's a lot of steps we're looking forward to improving with the design.
Maybe I'll invite you on a podcast because I'll tell you this, Mark Rosewater did a whole podcast on collation, which was followed by a secondary podcast on more collation. So I think there's a lot of people who are interested in things like this, yeah. All right, I couldn't help in the announcement that was just released, I couldn't help but notice that the Guardian CSR was not a CUR. We have first edition. Will there be CURs in ALC?
No.
CSRs only.
Yes.
Yeah, and so this kind of comes back to production and scaling. With CURs, there was that idea of uniqueness with individual serials, unique signatures. And after we went through that process, we realized it was incredibly unscalable.
Yeah.
And to be in a very expensive, very costly process for a Kickstarter run of 12,000 to potentially double that or scale that up anymore is cost prohibitive with our current printing technology. Of course, it's something we'd like to explore to see if there's some way we can do it without that level of cost. But right now, it's just not within our capability. So rather than try and rebrand CURs and say it's a first edition thing, but now they're more similar to CSRs, it'll just be CSRs, but exclusive CSRs to first edition versus what might come in Alter Edition.
Yeah, another way we're making cards more special too is having variants. So we first tested that with Fracture Crown with Merlin A and B. So in ALC, there is 3 CSRs that have variants.
Ooh,
so,
okay.
They look great. I think, I just wanted to add on that, while it may take some getting used to seeing CUR versus CSR, we are sparing no effort to make sure that the art is at the utmost highest quality that we can get. We're exploring different foil texturing patterns and always exploring new ways to make the cards feel special.
Yeah.
So it's just because some letters are shifting, I think they're still gonna be amazing, and I hope that my hope is that everyone still feels that they're special.
I honestly look at it like this: the CURs now are Ascent prizes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like, I mean, they're numbered, right? Got to win them though, right?
Yeah.
Since I've discovered Nahgg actually does rules, I have a question for you.
Sure.
I actually dropped this out of the question earlier, but I'm going to add it in now that I have you here. Fracturize and Lantern.
Yeah.
A lot of players are complaining that it's like really confusing because it doesn't work. That the mental, like, if we explain all the layers of this onion, they understand it, but they keep reading over and over again. There's like, but it removes everything. How do we? I think everyone knows how it works now, but how do we remove this kind of confusion in the future? Is this a concern?
Right, so we do want to find solutions in the rules to how to make them work for continuous effects, which are very challenging to do.
Yeah.
Digital card games can fix this very easily because it's easy to timestamp everything and the player doesn't have to track everything individually. However, for a paper game, for a trading card game where every single time someone passes a priority or opportunity to another player, or the board gets updated or some effect happens, there has to be a process to reconstruct what exactly happens from the ground up every time. So we've looked at our predecessors who've had decades of experience in card games, tried to make a framework based on that timestamping and layering to make sure that the board state best represents the intended effects, as well as to compromise and minimize the amount of occurrences where the game rules result in an unintuitive state. Right, that's what you really want to get, is you don't want as many instances of people saying, wait, that doesn't make sense, as you do have people saying, that makes perfect sense. So we would rather have 99 times out of 100 where someone says, yes, I understand this completely, and settle for that 1 out of 100 case where it says, hold on a sec, what's going on? Where the alternative would be, let's say, yes, we can fix that 1 out of 100, but then it creates 20 more problems in those cases. So it's a balancing act, first and foremost, and for now, this is the solution we have. Not to say that there isn't one that exists that's better, but again, like, experience has proven that it's either a very difficult question to answer, or there's simply no better way to do it. Time will tell. As we get more experience designing cards, as we get more experience figuring things out and making sure that rules are as clear as we can make them, as intuitive as we can make them, it's a continual process. So that's something we will always keep in mind and strive for.
Yeah. Okay. And that's going to do it for this interview. I want to thank you guys all so much for kind of joining us. Any last thoughts, words you want to share with the audience? Let's start with Alan.
Sure. Today was, a dream come true for me. Like I said, it's been amazing. The very first Ascent, and I've had a lot of fun. I can say that we're all sleep deprived, but I've been running on just pure adrenaline, happiness, and a couple milligrams of caffeine. So I want to say, everyone, thank you for supporting us, and we will only try to ever do better. And if we ever do bad, I know we have a great community that will keep us in check. So that's it for me.
Yeah, I mean, we have such a great community. Yep. Like, whenever I was about to present, I was like, what if I change a slide and no one, it's a completely silent, It's like, but then after I showed, like, just the regional promo, I'm like, everyone's like, whoa. It's like, really, guys? And then, like, everything after that was really smooth, and I think it was probably like that for Roger too, when he was announcing just like random stuff. Yeah, but yeah, it's a great experience. And we just announced our third set, so we hope our store is pre-order. And we announced Worlds, which will have an Ascent event. So even if you don't qualify, it's going to be in Las Vegas. It's going to be very fun. So we hope a lot of players travel for that.
I don't really have anything else to comment. I mean, the event, Sunny pretty much covered it all. I mean, event was great. We have lessons taken. We love the feedback we've gotten, the very positive vibes from the community, and we've had an amazing staff this event. We've had great help for TO. My volunteer judges were phenomenal, and it all went off really without a hitch from my perspective. There were very few times I had to like step in and correct things. It felt very fluid, so I'm very happy about that. We've had very overall positive feedback, so it was just great seeing the event kind of come together.
Yeah,
And it was a great feeling overall.
I've been stopped by like 15 random people throughout the event. I was like, "Sil, you need any help with anything?" I was like,
Wow.
I don't know you. I don't know, like, the Discord names and faces don't match yet, but yeah.
Everybody's willing to help. I think it got so many people were like, whatever you need me to do, I'll do. And I was like, I need you to go sit in your chair. we have rounds about to start, stuff like that. But it's surreal to me, where we are now, and we're finally at the first event. We're at the first Ascent, and it's been one hell of a time.
Yeah, this didn't feel like an event run by a small indie company.
Yeah.
I've been through worse.
I'll just say, the saying goes, set 3 is the real test. Never mind that there was a Kickstarter set, we'll just ignore that for now. But this will be the bit. And I would say, it's been amazing to see everyone, but we're not stopping, right? This is not just like, we've made it, we're going to relax and sit back, right? There's still so much work for us to do, but there's so much opportunity with the IP for Grand Archive, what the TCG space to develop, with other regions we're onboarding. We're starting with the Philippines now, and my goal is to, Tuesday I fly to Germany to see what we can do to grow the market over there, and then explore potentially Indonesia with some artists that we're picking up. And there's just so much for us to do. There's so much to look forward to. And we've given ourselves such an amazing foundation with our community, with our manufacturing, with our financing, that we're in a position to really take the world by storm, hopefully, and just continue to build out the amazing game and community that we have here. The community is beyond, I don't know what we deserve, but it's just, they make it worthwhile to keep going through this, to go through the sleepless nights, the questions of like, holy shit, are we gonna make it? And, eventually we'll get out of that cycle as we kind of grow and mature as a company, but yeah, this has been beyond belief.
Yeah, I mean, fundamentally, that's who we do it for, is the community, right?
Yeah, I think the support and the accolades you've gotten from the community, you guys absolutely earned it. You've earned my trust throughout many things. So I really appreciate everything you guys do. I appreciate you guys sitting down, taking time out of your precious day, being super tired to even have a chat with me. So really glad for this opportunity. Thank you, everyone. It's Mark from Solo Games, and I'm signing out. Stay classy. Cut. Woo! One take, guys. Good job.